welcome to NUFC Talk. And this week, Yanis, we have some football to talk about.
We do, mate.
We do. So we're looking forward to doing this episode. We've got some games to talk about. But before we dive into that, social media and subscribe. So if you've got us on YouTube right now, make sure you press the subscribe button. Make sure you press the little bell. Leave us a comment to let us know what you agree with, what you disagree with. You can get us on the social medias all at NUFC Talk Pod, which is on Twitter, TikTok and Instagram. And if you want to get us individually on Twitter, mine is, I forgot my name, Glenn_NUFC.
And I'm at Yanis NUFC.
And also, our FPL league has grown. We set this up, we thought if we get 20 people, it'll be a bit of a laugh. It's currently 39 people, so if you play FPL, if you don't, download the Premier League app, and on there you can get the fantasy football where you get to create your own squad. Search the code Romeo Golf X-Ray 3 X-Ray Uniform. Just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
So that's Romeo Golf X-Ray 3 X-Ray Uniform. We'll put the code also in this pod if you listen to us on Spotify or YouTube or wherever else you contact us at. So yeah, come and join us in, what is it, 11 days as we record now.
Is that all it is?
To the start of the season, mate, yeah.
Is it? I thought it was like 4 weeks ago still.
No, mate, we
I've been tinkering loads, me, like.
Have you?
Aye, heavy tinkering. I built the first team. I built the first team.
You built it?
Yeah, assembled a super squad.
Mm-hmm. But disassembled it.
Well, I just put that together just so I could join the league, basically.
Yeah.
But then since then, I've honestly, I must have had every good player I can imagine has been in my side at some point. So,
and now you're dropping Salah to get Miggy in.
Well, dropping Grealish, not that much. No, I've done some. I haven't got Salah in my team. This is the first FPL in don't know, many FPLs that haven't had no Salah from the start.
Breaking news, there you go. That's going to be the name.
Yes, because I might be getting Kane to shot and getting a little big Mo in.
Oh.
Anyway,
yeah.
FPL, come join us.
Yeah, that's it, FPL. Come and join us, get the code. And yeah, we've got 39 teams in there so far, so it'd be great to see if we could hit 50.
Yeah, it'd be good to get 50, yeah. Good.
Yeah, let's start at the friendly, which wasn't so friendly, was it?
Yeah, a bit feisty at some points.
Yeah, so Newcastle travelled over to Benfica and we played in the Eusebio Cup.
Yeah.
Benfica finished third in the Portuguese league last season behind Porto and Lisbon, so obviously a decent team.
Yeah.
And they started off with all the pressure, didn't they? But I think we had a break with where Miggy had a chance. It seemed to be us with our backs against the wall a little bit. I think they caught us a bit unprepared at the start. Yeah. We seemed a bit surprised by how fast they started off.
Yeah, I think overall, not to jump too far ahead, but overall it was for them, the first half at least was a good quality football, wasn't it? It was generally a good football match to watch. What didn't feel like a friendly? It felt like it could have been like a European game or something like. But
yeah, where the yellow cards were going out.
I know that. But yeah, I think Newcastle did well early to also ride that, and obviously conceded, but we did well to sort of ride that pressure and then came into the game. And as the first half went on, I actually thought we looked pretty sharp. I
think overall they were the better team, which will go through the points. I thought to come out drawn at half time was a decent result. Why
do you think they were a lot better in this first half?
I thought they were the better team. Yeah.
I thought there was a spell later on in the first half. I think probably the middle third of the game. Mm-hmm. I thought Newcastle were a better side.
Yeah, I kind of see where they come from. Overall, first half, I think they were better. But
definitely the first part.
We had our points. The first note of the game I wrote down was Pope's first touch. Scared living daylights out of us. And then after that, we played the old where they were playing off from the back. So he split the centre halves and the goal kick. I was like, fucking hell, I've just seen your first touch. And then he went and kicked it long.
Well, I've said it before, I said it on previous pods, he's not an improvement on Dubravka with his feet. He isn't. That's always been the thing about Nick Pope when it comes to England. I think Pickford has this total tangent here. I think Pickford has the ability to do superb saves, but he's got an absolute clanger in him. But as do most goalkeepers after the real top ones, the difference with Pickford is he's just so much better with his feet.
Yeah.
so much better, and that's why I think Pickford will always be, at least under Southgate, England's number one.
Number one, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's because Pope's he's not so he's like shaky first touch. I'm like, well.
But then one thing I've wrote down for Pope as well, I had him wrote down sweeper keeper. He came out, I think it was 2 or 3 times in the first half, way further than we'd ever see Dubravka, and he just seemed to.
Further than you see Lascelles usually.
Yeah. Lascelles is trying to, like say, pull the centre half, the centre mids back. Come on. And then you just see
Nick Pope running past him. Oh. So yeah, that was interesting to see. He was playing a really high line, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Kind of Edison-esque at some point. But what's your? I mean, you've seen him a couple of times now. What's your overall feeling? You still think it's a really obviously 10 million to snatching it really?
Yeah, I still think he's a good signing. I still think he'll go on there as number one. Yeah, he pulled off a couple of good saves for the goals. I think the first one, Lascelles lost his man a little bit. I know some people said between Pope and Lascelles they should have sorted it out, but I'm not jumping on the bash Lascelles bandwagon, but I think he could have done a little bit better. And the second goal, a free kick, I don't think you're going to find many keepers stop that, if any.
Yeah, you're not going to risk yourself hitting the post in a friendly to stop that, are you?
So what do you think? Overall?
I think he'd be number one. Yeah, I think on reflection, I don't think he's a massive improvement on Dubravka, but I think he is a better keeper than Dubravka.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dubravka has a tendency to do 15 saves when he's getting beat 4-0, but then let a clanger in when it's 0-0 in the 90th minute. So, yeah, I think Pope probably number one.
Mm-hmm. But then let's talk about one of the stars for our pre-season. Guy who couldn't score any goals for London when he scores arguably one of the goals of the season towards the end. Miggy.
Big Miggy.
Yeah, so should we go through these stats now for pre-season so far? So goals and assists for our pre-season games so far. Goals, we've got Miggy on 6 goals, 2 assists. Next after that is Willock on 3 goals. Matt Ritchie.
Aye. Cut him against Billy Gateshead or something, don't they?
Gateshead, so he's got 2 goals, 1 assist. Wilson, Bruno and St Maximin, all 1 goal and 2 assists. Trippier, 3 assists.
That's good to see.
2 were obviously last night. Longstaff, 2 goals. Anderson, 1 and 1. Joe Linton, 1 and 1. Murphy, a goal. And then the assists, Shelby 1, Kraft 1. Chris Wood, yet to score in pre-season, and 1 assist.
I know, that's one of my main talking points, I think, from...
We'll get to that, but yeah, should we just talk Miggy and give him some praise? Because
aye, yeah,
he's looking good.
Maybe Jack Grealish should call everyone a twat in our team, like. Yeah, he's looked really sharp. There's a few players that have looked super sharp, but yeah, like I kind of feel his second goal yesterday, if that was like halfway through last season, he tries to take a touch or he doesn't connect properly with it, or he's just got like.
Or he takes a touch and passes it somewhere else, or
somehow even though he's on his left foot, cuts back on his left foot.
Cuts back on himself and ends in the same spot.
Yeah, he's got like that Scott Parker turning around in circles about money.
Yeah. But the defender actually doesn't move; he just turns around in
him doing circles. I think I don't know. Obviously, something in there. No, Benitez obviously does sign mugs sometimes because he's not got a perfect track record, but he chased him for a while and spent some big cash on him, Benitez, and spent a lot of his budget on him. So he thinks he's a player there. I remember that spell at the end of the season. He transformed us when he came in with him, Perez, and Rondon.
Yeah.
3 amigos. So there's obviously been a player, but he's became this. I don't know if he's had this workhorse tag that he's just, but he has really lacked end product and
yeah, it's been the best part of 2 seasons, hasn't it?
Aye. So I always look back if that chip in his first game, I can't remember who it was against now. He lobbed the keeper and hit the post.
Yeah.
And came out of that, just went in. He probably had about 50 goals from Newcastle by now.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Compare him to Robert and Solano.
Do you think it's solving it's obviously it's probably making less pressure into the right winger discussion, but is it?
Nah. Look, he's gone through some great form, and I hope, and I'm sure every Newcastle fan would say, look, we hope we're all proven wrong. But I don't think any Newcastle fan would say off the back of playing Gateshead, some second division German team, and fair enough, Benfica were a decent team, but was still a friendly. I don't think you can say, look, that solves the right wing position.
Yeah.
Hopefully it gives him some momentum to take on.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's solved. You?
No, I agree. But what it does do, although you and I had a debate who would you sell and who would, and I was like, I'd keep Murphy. Absolutely not. Yeah. There is definitely a more talent and more ability, and Murphy's he will get onto him in a minute as well.
Yeah. The way I look at that combination now, I'm kind of thinking Miggy and Fraser, the top ones right
If
now.
you're playing, if you're starting the season on Friday, if we were playing Friday, that I thought it was the start of the season.
Oh, Miggy's starting, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
And then I've got some notes on some other defenders as well. So Trippier, looking solid. 2 assists, classic him getting to the byline, putting them back in.
Yeah, first one's an absolute belt. Having an assist for a fullback, like, you must be delighted with that. Like,
That's
classic.
bread and butter stuff. If that's Trent Alexander-Arnold, that's like he's the best fullback in the world.
Yeah.
Trippier, he plays for Newcastle's probably going to go not undetected, and every time Southgate's playing, everyone's going to be kicking off. Why is he?
How was he playing? He's setting assist is a lovely pass. Like way to pass. He hasn't got to do anything for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just roll in. Nice little run inside as well. Like that's
what you want. I mean, Miggy's finding them spots and Trippier pulling them back, not always having to look for Wilson.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And then
Botman.
Yes.
Absolute Rolls Royce in him.
I know. There was a tweet I put up, and if anybody watched the game, it was Lascelles' tackle versus Botman tackle.
Aye.
So if anybody didn't catch the game, the ball comes into the striker. He gets a little flick to put the ball around Lascelles. Lascelles just literally
But a week later than halfway line, then
cleans him out, which I thought the ref would have stopped the game based on he was stopping the game for anything. There's like a counter attack, isn't there? So like there's 2v2 because he skins a couple of people and leaves Longstaff for dead, I think, and looks like he's going to go around that outside of Botman, but Botman shows he has some pace and puts in a perfect slide tackle. Whereas if that's other Newcastle centre half, you'd be thinking, shit, they're going to give a penalty away here, but he knew what he was doing, and it just showed the difference between.
Yeah, it's just like timing when to make a tackle. Like I'm not saying he's like Van Dijk, but you watch Van Dijk play and you're like, yes, he's got this pace, but he's also had this like incredible intelligence when to go, when not to go, when. You see Van Dijk sometimes 2-on-1, and he just marshals a bit of space, and then you think like, how haven't you scored? And then Van Dijk's coming out with the ball like pinging it 50 yards to Trent, like, and you're like, how have you got that?
Yeah.
But no, I think he's going to be absolutely massive. There's some chat actually whilst one defenders.
Go on.
Quite a few comments I saw on Twitter about Dan Burns' lack of pace in the high line. Do you see? Did you notice that a lot, or did you?
Well, even from last season, you could see Burn didn't have a great deal of pace. But he was better at reading the game, and it was just a step up from what we had. But I don't think we signed Dan Burn for his lightning pace. We signed him because we struggled to set pieces, and he was a better centre half than what we had.
Yeah. Would you be changing your mind? You were Shah, wouldn't you? Were you Shah alongside?
So my back four would have been Trippier, Shah, Botman, and Target.
You still going that?
Yeah, 100%. Why are you saying Burn? Still?
No, I don't know. I'm like, as long as they're alongside Botman and not Lascelles, and I'm happy either way. Like, Target again, it's just like pretty solid. Isn't he?
There was a few interesting comments saying that Target looked a little bit unprotected when Joe Linton wasn't there, and looked a little bit open when he got caught a few times.
Longstaff's not got he's not the powerhouse and the presence of like of Joe Linton. Like, I think it's bizarre to say like 24 months ago, but he's a player we are a different side with him, innit? Like, you can't really replace him with Willock. Willock's kind of the closest we've got to him in terms of lots of energy, quite covers quite a lot of distance on the pitch, but
just two different styles.
Just two different styles of player. Yeah,
it's two different styles of the same role.
So he plays like Willock. Even though one used to be a striker, Willock, if you played them both in the same role, Willock would probably score you 7-8 more goals, maybe 10 a season. I think more than Joe Linton would. But Joe Linton will make like 100 more tackles.
They're both kind of box to box,
combative number 8.
Getting stuck in. Whereas Willock's more like that niggly one. Whereas Joe Linton's kind of got that name or the title now, like an enforcer.
He has got that. He has got that absolute class ability of timing a tackle, and timing a tackle, sort of in midfield when
Joel
it's
Linton.
yeah, Joel Linton, yeah, when it's combated.
You could argue maybe not after that red card.
Aye, but yeah. Other than that one,
I know
get
you
him
mean.
out of the way in the pre-season, mate. Get him out of the way early doors in the pre-season. Yeah, but he's funny how he's become a player that we actually totally miss, and we don't look the same side.
Mm-hmm. Callum Wilson, 1-on-1. We've praised Callum Wilson so much for his finishing ability, and I think you even said there's no one else you'd rather have a 1-on-1 with, or you'd rather have the 1-on-1 opportunity. And
Aye, for Newcastle.
Yeah.
What about Harry Kane?
Yeah, he just doesn't look.
Yeah. Go on, say it, Glenn. What are you saying about Callum Wilson?
Just doesn't look.
I think you should do.
Not saying he's not fully fit. He just doesn't look up to match fitness or up there. But I suppose that's what pre-season's for, isn't it? So
I'm not concerned about Wilson too much. Like, my only concern about him is he's just
what's behind him in the queue?
Well, yeah, that's absolutely one thing. Is when you go hand in hand, his fitness was going to be my concern, and then what is the off the cliff drop to Wood? I think Wilson you'll be absolutely fine as long as if you get 30 games at him next season, you'll get your 10 plus goals easily in the Premier League easily. But I do agree that I was surprised. I thought maybe he knew he was offside. I don't know, because it was you talking about the.
Tried to take it around the keeper, didn't he?
ASM does great for that. Like, he probably delays the pass just a fraction too much because he puts it inside him. He puts Wilson actually on goal. I put it to you. I was saying it's actually nice watching Joel Linton. Like, you're watching him play and you're actually expecting end product now. You're expecting to pass a bit more now. You're actually expecting to have output rather than just you usually expected him to try and do one more and then get a shot away. But
yeah, I think you can see that from actually pre-season. He's obviously had a drilled in. Like, you've got to pass now.
Yeah, I think he'll have a big season this season, mate. Chris Wood though, it's off a cliff, isn't it? Like, it's really noticeable. Like
he's brought on the side was to hold the ball up. He's a Premier League striker. We know he's not going to have loads of end product, but he can bring the other players in. The one thing he's good for scoring goals is with his head. The Southampton goal. But even he missed a few chances in the Premier League, and then on last night, he had one of his classic.
Yeah.
Where you'd expect him to score that,
wasn't it?
He just put it straight in the keeper's hand. The keeper didn't have to move, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the one thing you're good at.
I know. What I'd be a little bit more concerned about is just his kind of general. He's not going to score a bunch of goals, but I don't mind that if the rest of his plays looks good. But I don't think the rest of his plays looking good. I think it's been a real letdown that.
But then when we bought him, he was one of only 5 players who'd scored double figures for like the last 3 or 4 Premier League seasons.
This would have been his 5th, wouldn't it?
It would have been, but he just didn't.
Last season would have been his 5th. Yeah.
Obviously, Burnley are designed just a long ball and
they played 2 up top, Burnley, by the way, as well.
Hump it in the box, and that suited his style.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a different style coming to Newcastle, and I still stand by the 25 million that we paid for him was right by what we needed at the time. But yeah, we need to find back up to.
I'd be more. It's going to sound bizarre. I think I'd be more concerned because of Wilson's injury record if we went in with no other striker additions than I would be with no other winger additions.
I was going to say, would you prefer to see a striker would you prefer to see a second choice striker or a first choice right winger?
I think I'd love us to go splash 50 million or something like that Diaby, but obviously not going to now. But it's a hard one. That still right winger because obviously you want your first team to improve, but somehow contrary to that, I think it's more concerning if we don't have backup to.
If the right winger's crossing into Chris Wood.
Aye. So because Miggy's form, Fraser, you know what you're going to get. A lot of graft.
What's Miggy like centre forward?
It's pretty better in the air than
better than Chris Wood if you look at these stats here.
Yeah. It's concerning that like.
Other notes from the first half, Bruno looked like he was getting frustrated and annoyed. He picked up an early yellow card, which was just stopping the break, which is fair enough. You take them ones, but then he given another little foul away just outside the box.
He gave the free kick away for the.
Was that the one where it could have been? There was another tackle outside the box. I thought, bloody hell, that could have been like another book in there. And if it was in the Premier League, I wouldn't have been surprised if you saw a second yellow. So yeah, he looked like he was getting frustrated and yeah, fair enough. The ref had a fucking useless game anyway, but I don't.
He did right, didn't he? He's making it up as he goes along, wasn't he?
Yeah. Did you see Eddie Howe's comments after the game?
Yeah, when he stopped himself from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was going to say it'd be nice to get back to Newcastle where the refs on shite.
Yeah, because I won't say anything that's going to get myself in trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was literally making the rules up. Like, I'm sure we had
that drop ball thing when Joe Linton's first booking, like, and I shouldn't argue, but Joe Linton is absolutely in the right. It should have been, Newcastle should have, if it's going to be a drop ball to anybody, it should have been to Newcastle, or should have been given back to us. He's got a hump. They just kept the ball. Might as well give it a goal kick.
Yeah, that was a interesting decision, and I don't think anyone could understand how he came to that one.
Yeah, it was bizarre that, like, but.
So yeah, Bruno looked frustrated and annoyed. We just discussed the goals. Shelby, do you want to have a bit?
Yeah, cider, please.
Cider.
I'd be gutted if Shelby's hamstring is bad, like, because he looks like he's like super sharp looking there in terms of like he looks like he's put a lot of graft in pre-season, looks in really good shape. Like, probably knows he's only got 2 seasons tops involved in this first team.
He's probably trying to stay fit to get them 3 games for his contract there. They get triggered, he goes and pulls a hamstring.
But I'd be gutted because I'm not saying the balance of the side isn't completely dismantled like it is. If you don't play Joe Linton, it's a different kind of midfield. It doesn't perform the same way. You can kind of replace Shelby in some respects.
Yeah.
Longstaff, like the second goal, it was Longstaff's ball switched out to Trippier, who put it inside to so you can get a bit of that from Longstaff. I just think it's a drop in quality from Shelby to Longstaff.
So I think the 2 midfields which we can kind of get away with is if Shelby drops out, Bruno can play the deeper role and Willock can pop in there.
The 2-8s, yeah.
Yeah, if Shelby's playing the deeper role, you've got Bruno and Joe Linton maybe playing like the 8 roles as it's kind of getting christened now. But if Shelby's out and then there's another injury there, then Longstaff, I think he is a step down.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a step down. I still think he looks sharp. He's 100% a step down, Longstaff. I've no issue saying that, but I do think he still looks sharp. It's not sharp as in I think he's moving the ball quicker. I think the whole team basically are moving the ball quicker.
Yeah,
there's far less slow, cumbersome touches on the ball, especially midfield. In midfield, there's a snap of touch out your feet and it's gone again. Mm-hmm. It's clearly been worked on. If you compare how he used to look like it under Bruce previously, or even at the start of Eddie Howe's reign,
take a touch, pass it back, and just maintain possession if we can.
Yeah, it was just take a touch and then it goes down the line, hump down the line to somebody. Whereas now it's clearly there's a pass and move. I mean, Bruno's still a cut above. Like, even his little stuff he does, like the little outside the boot, he rolls it into somebody. He's moving straight from his pass into space again. Like, he offers himself all the time. Like, he'll have so many touches this season compared to the rest of our midfield. Even with Shelby dropping in and picking it off the back four, like, he's quality.
You don't play for Brazil or even get in the Brazilian squad if you're not like another level.
Yeah, he's class. Like, but I mean, overall, I think going into the last pre-season or the last, because there's 2 more. There's one behind closed doors and then the one on Friday.
There's 2 in there because there's the one on Friday, the one on Saturday.
Oh, there is on there.
So Atalanta on Friday, and then Athletic Bilbao is it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So there's a couple of games. So I've been going into those games. I think some definite positives, like you say, of Miggy, Bruno, Botman, Willock, all looking really, really good. Like.
So I've got 2 more points about the Benfica game before we move on. Joe Linton's red. So I put a tweet out, which has got mixed.
Viral.
Not quite viral yet, but before I checked, there was like 30,000 impressions or something. So it's tracking there. So I would tweet it. So if you haven't got us already, it's Glenn_NUFC or get us a NUFC Talk Pod or Yanis NUFC. So I love Big Joe as our enforcer, but he needs to keep his head. 2 yellows in a few minutes. If that was Shelby or an important game, everyone wouldn't be laughing about it, because a lot of the response after Joe Linton's red card was, my man, and that's great, that's what we want from our midfielder, which I get, it was a bit of a giggle because Joe Linton's like a fan's favourite at the moment. But if that was Shelby, everyone would be like, oh, he needs to learn to control it and this, that and the other. And I know Joe Linton hasn't had red cards before for us. That's his first one, and it's only a friendly. But there has been elements where he has lost his temper, like when he played against Tottenham, he fucked somebody off into the sponsor boards, and that is part of being the enforcer or being the man that applies himself. Not applies himself, I suppose enforces himself on the game. But at the same time, you kind of be picking up them a couple of yellow cards. Yes, the first one wasn't a yellow card.
Once you got the first one, you kind of.
Yeah,
the second one is late. It's a bit. Do you think it's naughty?
I think it's a straight red.
Yes.
It is. It studs under his ankle.
It's naughty, isn't it, though?
Yeah.
Either it's.
So he lost his temper a little bit from the first one. First one wasn't a yellow, but if you get a yellow, you got it. How many times do you see, especially in the Premier League now, where the refs are watching stuff, where people pick up 2 yellows in a few minutes.
Martin Nelly picked one up with the same foul.
Picked up 2 yellows in the same before the ball even stopped. But yeah, it does happen. And I think that was my point. And a lot of people did agree, but a few people just
jump on the Glenn hate wagon there.
Yeah, there was all sorts of
bashing Glenn.
mad tweets happening, but I won't read them all out.
Wait till Everton fans get on it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I see you coming from. I do. I think he's got to keep his head. He can't read too much into it. It is his first red. It was probably a bit petulant. What I would say is, if you watch stuff like all the videos around, like the little training videos and stuff, he is easy to wind up, Joel Linton. Like, clearly, he's always got his arm. He's always got a sort of. They're playing a daft game around the pool. One of the videos I watched.
Yeah.
And he was like so easy to wind up. He was the one that started sort of kind of whinging and moping and that, and he had to take the forfeit, jump in the pool and that. And maybe he is easy to wind up if he's going to play that role, which he's going to get booked. He'd probably get 10 bookings next season, I would imagine, easy. Because of the role he plays.
Eight this season. And you start playing in the field halfway through.
And he started playing halfway through. So he was probably going to get 15 yellows. So it is probably something that needs to be watched like a little bit. But
and young, is it Bondswell? Came on for the second half and played left back.
Yeah, left back. Yeah.
Oh, you had a decent game.
I only know him because I sell him straight away on FIFA every season. Like I have done for the last couple of years.
But now you're going to loan him out. He's got some.
Yeah, I might even play in a couple of friendlies.
Yeah.
Look comfortable, didn't he? Him and Anderson didn't really look out with the depth or anything like that.
This might be a daft question, but is Dummett injured?
He's always injured, isn't he? I think your question should be: is Dummett fit?
Yeah. I thought he got a contract extension, and then I haven't seen him. It's like Dummett's injured. It's not like him.
Is Dummett fit again? Is he? Nah, not yet. But it's funny that actually he played a bit of. I mean, he's also massive. I mean, talk about off the cliff to Chris Wood. He's a massive drop down as well. Like barely kicked the ball for like 3 seasons, has he really?
I wouldn't put Dummett up front like.
Well, actually,
maybe that's part of Eddie Howe's plan.
Chris Wood's only got 1 assist. maybe you do play Dummett. Yeah. Well, go. He scored Liverpool at the back stick.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
There you go. So that's all in all. It's been a good camp again.
Yeah, good camp, and then we've got 2 friendlies this Friday, so we're going to the Friday game. Looking forward to that. So,
well, hopefully, because I was expecting more 90 minutes in Portugal, which I was surprised at 11 changes
for match fitness.
Yeah, I was expecting that. So I would imagine when we go on Friday, I'd imagine we're going to see like 11 players, maybe a few subs, but most players play because the back-to-back games are going to play 2.
I was going to say, I think he's going to have 2 starting 11s, play 60, 70, and some players maybe sort of Matty Longstaffs might come on as subs for both games and that, but I think he's going to give players full run-outs. Have you seen Joe Linton suspended?
Oh, I know.
I don't know what rule it falls under, but yeah, he's suspended on Friday because of his red card.
So if he got a red card in his final pre-season match, would he be suspended for next year's pre-season friendlies?
Yeah. He should just be suspended for the UCBO Cup, though, should he?
Aye. Maybe he's just put on a friendly tomorrow, so he's suspended in that.
Aye, like behind closed doors against like Heben or something like that.
You and I. And
yeah.
None of our mates. I was going to ask you, which starting lineup wins?
First half.
First half, yeah, I think so, yeah.
First half, definitely. There's obviously some first.
Even though, aye. But yeah, Nick Pope was even though Cardallo, but he's in the second half, wasn't he?
Yeah, I still think there's some.
Is that why? Because Cardallo.
Just 'cause, because Wood's not going to score and Dallo's not going to stop Wilson.
Yeah.
Or Miggy.
Yeah.
So, Timo Werner.
Big Timo. Little Timo.
Little.
Ironically, big Timo.
Little Timo in physique, big in wages.
Nice.
Do you like that then?
Nice. Yeah, nice. I like that.
So he's currently on £272,000 a week
Pennies.
at Chelsea.
Absolute pennies.
There's talk of loan with option to buy. Bruno is on 130 a week. Trippier is 100, 120. Then you're dropping down to Jolin at 85.
Shelby's about there as well, isn't
Yeah. He's not going to fit into that structure. So there's been talk of like Chelsea paying half of the wages.
he? Well, even then,
Newcastle paying
half. We used to be paying him 150 grand.
Yeah, 100,
Thereabouts.
135. Yeah. So you make him the highest paid player. If that deal was available and Chelsea paid half and we were paying 135 grand a week.
For a season long loan?
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. I think he's definitely a step up. It's not even a conversation. But
Yeah.
£135,000 for someone who plays to his level and got the experience of playing with them sides. And look, he scored goals beforehand. It maybe just hasn't worked.
Just hasn't worked, has it?
With Chelsea. So
maybe the pressure of the big move will be coming to what is clearly at the minute not as big a. It's not in European. It's not expected to win the league. It's not. You're not expected to score goals to win the league. You're expected to try and get the fucking top 8.
Plus, Chelsea's not a happy camp at the moment. It's mad. Some of the sayings too will come out. His last press conference, some of the players are making decisions if you want to play here. You're still like, it's
Fucking hell! Start a season 11 days. I mean, I just found that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Newsflash.
It can't be that happy. They lost 4-0
to Arsenal.
Did they? I was going to say they lost Rudiger.
Rudiger, Christensen, Lukaku, and then they got beat 4-0 by
Well,
Arsenal.
they didn't lose Lukaku. They fucking drove the bus there. Didn't let Marlon drove away.
But yeah, I know we're going a bit off topic here, but yeah, they got beat 4-0 by Arsenal.
Yeah, I've got them below Spurs, definitely, 100%.
Yeah,
I've got them below Spurs. I've got them maybe even challenging for. Arsenal seemed like a happy camp, didn't it?
Yeah.
Jesus, a massive signing for them. I reckon they might struggle for top 5.
Chelsea, they should be 5th, I would say. Yeah.
Well, the top 2 will be Man City, Liverpool.
Yeah. And
Spurs are 3. Arsenal are
4.
Yeah.
Chelsea 5.
Going in with United.
Man United.
I can't get rid of Ronaldo. Try and buy Lukaku back. Maybe Lukaku just goes back to every. Maybe he goes back to Man United next, then back to Everton. Didn't West Brom loan him? Get him back to West Brom.
So could Inter Milan loan their loan player Lukaku and get Cristiano because he wants to play?
But paying 90% of his wage.
Yeah.
Yeah, would I do? Yeah, the Werner thing is probably a bit of a no-brainer. Like if that could be done, it's about what you're paying your highest paid player.
Bruno.
Yeah. In terms of we're not paying. If it was to pay 270 grand a week, I'd say no because I don't think he's worth that for a start. But also, I don't think he's.
He must have been laughing. I was going to say all the way to the bank. 270 grand a week. He ain't getting that contract fucking anywhere on the planet again. Or maybe he goes and plays in the Chinese league or America.
Saudi.
Sorry?
Yeah, if you splash some cash around.
But that's an insane amount for the level he's performed at. He's not going to get that again.
No. Not after 2 seasons where he's essentially pretty much flopped. Flopped to what he was meant to be. I mean, he's no Torres flop, but it's.
At least Torres had a season anyway.
Yeah, they've had some flops, haven't they? Up top, old.
Oh yeah,
this is Diego Costa's the one gem they've had for we did the business for them since Mutu. Remember Drogba? Remember Mutu?
I say Drogba was alright, but yeah, was that the guy that got sacked?
He's doing coke when it hasn't been.
The coke, yeah. God, yeah,
but he could finish.
A line.
I was going to say a bag, but yeah. Anyway, tangent. But other than that, the rumours, Julian Draxler.
I wasn't as look. He would still get in, but I wasn't as excited a few years ago. Like, yeah, but I don't know, what was your thoughts?
Yeah.
You know, and there's some names like, oh yeah, take him. He was one of my, yeah.
He was the new Havertz before Havertz was Havertz.
Yeah.
I think he's if we could get him for like 11 million and pay him a modest wage, like whatever's been like 30 million or something, I think it's
Wasn't it 17 the number that's
it was 17. I thought it was like, I'm not 13 or something, but is he worth a punt, do you reckon?
I suppose it depends on how much money we've got. If there's anything else happening, if it gets to deadline day and it hasn't happened, and we haven't like got another winger. Look, he's going to be better than Fraser, and
he's a 10 in he though. We just play a bit wide, but I just think PSG is like a frigging graveyard for some players in it. It really is. Like fucking Messi can't even do it.
Yeah, just take Messi.
Only if I'm paying him 100 grand a week. I'd break the bank for Messi just for the banter of Messi in a Toon shirt, like.
Just to watch the rest of Twitter go fucking berserk.
Just what all the Ronaldo lovers be and how much they hate Newcastle now. But I think Draxler, I don't think it's much in it. Like,
nah, we'll see. Saying that, whatever we said, the opposite happens. So you'll probably be playing on Friday
with Messi.
This HSBC loan thing.
It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's come out of nowhere. Like.
We're not financial advisors, so we're not going to sit here and pretend to understand everything that's happened. But from what I've read from a few blue tick accounts, so they would never
in the know.
In the know, want to know, blue know, whatever. So they're going to get a loan off the HSBC based on our future profits, which they obviously pay back as a percentage. Where once we get fun 88 off our shirts, and we get one of our own independent companies, which somehow we all know that one. When there's some other name on there which pays us way more than what we're getting right now, that'll easily pay off the percentage which we get from HSBC. I think it's just showing that the team has got, or the club, sorry, has got a bunch of people who have some business now and are finding ways to make extra money happen, to get around the financial fair play, or not get around it, just to still work within the rules of the financial fair play.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think there's any doubt that there's business acumen within the people like Stavely and that.
Aye.
There's the footballing issues were what were probably in question, but clearly what they've recruited has been quality.
New CEO as well, and we just actually have a team where you can trust them. Like right now, I know there's still people saying like just sign a winger or sign a striker, or I'm getting nervous. I'm still happy with the business that we've done so far.
Yeah.
I think people need to relax a little bit. Like if you look at what we've done in such a short period of time, the players, got a sporting director now, we've got a CEO that's got some experience. We're upgrading the stadium, we're training ground. Like what do they want?
Social media is clearly better and sort of put stuff out to the fans. Here's a question for you. If we go into window closes, because not if we go into the season, because I think we will go into the season as we are, but if the window closes and the squad is as it is now, I imagine we'd keep Elliot Anderson in that scenario. What's the window like for you?
The transfer window overall.
I know, not like the window paint.
Yeah. What's the windows around that staircase? And
how good, because they've been cleaned by Stevie. It was the first thing you did. So you got Botman, Pope, and Target signed permanently. I think based on past windows, you would say it's still a good window. I think most fans would say they maybe would expect a little bit more. And if we didn't sign a winger or a striker, I think I'd be lying if I was saying I wasn't a little bit disappointed. Yeah.
But based on, if in doubt, zoom out what we've accomplished or what they've accomplished, and as a club what we've changed in since this time last season, like it's night and day. I think you still got to be excited about where the club's heading, but I think there would be that underlying like.
I agree. I think it'd be a tinge of disappointment, but I think, if it don't zoom out, I was just going to say a bigger picture, but I think if you were to look at the bigger picture in a sense that it wouldn't be because we didn't want to spend the money, it was because it didn't fit with how we want to take the club in 5 years' time or whatever, or the next 3 years. It's a completely different. You're not like, we've not got Hamza Chowdhury because we won't spend 30 grand on a loan. It's because we're not going to be held over a barrel. So it's just it'd be a different. That's my feeling of it. It's kind of trust in the process.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we one more decent signing, whether it be a striker back up to Wilson or a winger, ideally both. But I do think there's two to come.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Yeah, there's still a long time. Like we saw what we did in the deadline window in January. Target and Burn came from nowhere as well. So I'm not panicking.
I think it'd be a loan and a fairly big cash.
Yeah,
big cash signing. Yeah.
Okay,
That's what I reckon. But
I think that wraps up, mate. Unless there's anything else you want to mention.
the away kit.
Oh
that sort of is it? It's not legitimately dropped, but they fairly in the no accounts have dropped.
No, I'm sure Castro said
Castro said, but they're fucking never got a clue of the Castro.
So apparently,
probably a Rangers strip.
Yeah, they're releasing it apparently. But what I've said to you is it compared to the home strip and the third one, which is the white one, you can see like the badges embroidered. I've got that last season's home one on. The away strip looks like it's a one which is ironed on again. So I hope it's not. I probably still end up buying it. I'm not going to lie, but
yeah, I think it's nice.
You like it?
I do. Yeah, I do. I think it's really nice. Full stop.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to Friday.
Friday, yeah. Friday night lights, couple of beers.
Hopefully a few more.
Yeah.
Before and after. If you see us kicking about, by all means come over and say hello and tell us of everything that you disagree with, and if there's any points that you do agree with us, please do let us know. But yeah, if you haven't already, please subscribe to all our social media accounts.
Hit the bell on YouTube. The little bell.
The bell, yeah.
The notification
make sure you
bell.
The bell. Again, for anybody who plays FPL, the code that you're looking for is Romeo Golf X-Ray 3 X-Ray uniform.
It's going to be the making of our footballing knowledge across the NUFC world, isn't it?
It is the making.
One of these guys actually know.
So yeah, come and challenge us. Let us see if you know more, which I'm sure you will. But yeah, thanks very much. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and leave us some reviews, and we'll catch you next week on the pod.